Hey, I'm McKenna.
And I'm Cass.
And this is Call You in 5.
We talked last week about how much we love Thanksgiving. So today, now that Thanksgiving is past, we want to jump into gratitude. All things about how to actually practice that thankfulness that we talk about a lot this season, in real life for the rest of your year. Because I think gratitude is not only one of good for you, as we'll talk about, but it's actually a really attractive quality. Yeah. I noticed that about you pretty quick after we met. Just how grateful you are. And so it makes sense that
thanks.
You do so many of these things that we're going to talk about today.
That's so sweet.
Did you know that gratitude actually increases your optimism and your sleep quality? There was a recent study done that says that anxiety and gratitude cannot coexist in your brain. Gratitude does something to you.
It really does.
Chemically in your body that does not allow you to worry about the things that we worry about so often.
Yeah.
Not to say that stressors don't come when you're grateful, but I mean, you and I were just talking about this. I think our society is so prone to idolize ourselves and our own selfish interests. Gratitude is just a refreshing opportunity to look outside of ourselves and see all the things that have been given to us that we've been blessed with, instead of a scarcity mindset of all the things we have to hoard to make sure that we're good.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. What do you think?
I think that's really good. Yeah.
So what are some ways that you practice gratitude?
Yes. I feel like I do this a lot in very small doses, but I feel like that's all you need. If you don't do it every day, maybe start to incorporate it every day. I practice with my morning journal. I do the 5-minute journal. It's really easy, really quick, really simple, which is what I need right now. I would love to be able to write tons and tons, but I just don't have the time. In the 5-minute journal, there's a section where you write 3 things that you're grateful for today. And I love that. I write down, usually it's always the same 3 things, but I've been trying to branch out. So I write down my 3 same things every day. It's Joey, Leela, and our home and our life. But then I also try to write 3 next to it, just because I've been writing the same thing every single day. But it's a really good reminder in the morning, and it kind of sets the stage for the rest of the day. If you can wake up and remember what you're grateful for, it kind of helps take out any anxiety that you have going on, or helps kind of ground you, I would say, because I definitely get stressed out during the day.
Yeah.
But it kind of helps ground you and remind you.
Morning routines, which we've talked about on the podcast before, and I think you've even brought up gratitude being a part of your morning routine before on the podcast. Morning routines really do set your day up for success. Yeah. Part of my morning routine is starting my day without my phone. So when I go to journal, I love to smell the coffee that's on auto brew from the night before, and the little dog, my roommate's little dog, snoozing in the corner. And I've been getting up pretty early since I was in Africa for a couple weeks last month, and so I'm on waking up a few hours early, just feeling the benefits of jet lag, which is an earlier start time to the day. So I love to watch the sunrise and just take in all the your sensory connections to the world, right? The sights, smells, sounds, and I can't help but feel grateful when I do that, right? Because I think our phones just keep us so trapped in that focus on ourselves, that when we have time to look around it, even you talk about your snoozing baby and husband, you wake up before both of them, right?
Yes.
And you see your home, you're so it's hard not to just exude gratitude for the very bare minimum things that you have in your life.
Yeah. I also think it's important to express gratitude to those around you and let them know, which is something I need to work on, because I'm very thankful for all of the people in my life, but I don't say it a ton. I just think it. And I think it's important to tell them, because it kind of passes on that positivity to the next person. You know what I mean? If you're expressing gratitude towards them, they're probably going to go on and express gratitude to those others around you and stuff like that. So it just kind of spreads the kindness.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's not one of us who, when being told how appreciated we are by a friend, don't just feel lighter and more confident about the contributions we're able to make in those relationships. I'm grateful for those moments that friends have affirmed me in our friendship, or like said a really thoughtful like thank you for, like, you know, like I feel like weddings are really good at this. Like, you know, the bride and groom will like sit down and write the thank you notes for every gift that they've been given, right? Or same thing with like baby showers, you know, like when big events, like it's really easy to remember to thank people. But I also think gratitude for the people in our life can go beyond like the things that they do for us. It's like, thank you just for being the person you are, you know, like having like the sound judgment or like the listening ear or just like always being there. Like that's enough. I feel like our society is like so transactional that doesn't always have to be like just when you give a gift. Like you can thank people for just being in your life.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
You can also, like, obviously this is not going to take out all of the challenges or anxieties or stress. And I think it's important to also reflect on those and still find gratitude in your struggles. You know, it's really hard to do that. But I know. I hear Leela.
Leela's like, I'm thankful for you, Mommy. I wish you'd wrap up with Cass.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's hard to find gratitude in your struggles, but reflect on them, think about them, especially when you're going through them. Just reflect on them, and then as they pass, you might start to appreciate them a little bit more.
I also think sometimes being grateful, if it's hard to be grateful for like trials that you're in the middle of, be grateful for those that you've gone through in the past that have given you the confidence that you can go through this one too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I look back at seasons of my life that were really hard, that, I mean, you have been a part of some of like really hard seasons in my life, right? That I've literally crashed upstairs in Leela's room now. And I think about like how much of a more stronger, resilient person I am today and how much more I have to offer relationally and professionally, and even like for me spiritually, than I did 3 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
And it can be really hard to do in the moment. And so sometimes I think gratitude as like a daily practice can, you know, like not every time you go to the gym, you love it, but like the habit of it like makes you stronger and like makes it more part of your norm, and you appreciate that, right? I think the same thing is true with gratitude. It's like, it's not always easy, but when it just becomes part of your routine, then it's like second nature. It just like flows from you.
Yeah. Another way to practice gratitude, which I actually do this, I'm not just saying, like I truly do this, and it sounds really cheesy, but gratitude walks or runs. I don't necessarily do it as much on a walk. I would like to do it more. But on my runs, when I get to the point where I don't want to be doing it anymore, I start to think about all the things that I'm grateful for, and I just run them through my mind. All the things that I'm grateful for, and oftentimes then I go back to, oh, this sucks, like I want to be done. This sucks, I want to be done. And I have to kind of like force myself back into think of all the things I'm grateful for, and it truly like helps me get through it.
Yeah.
It sounds really cliche, but I actually do that when my workouts get really hard.
That is so good. I find myself, especially like, we've both taught bar 3 before, and I find myself doing that at bar 3 a lot in the like breath work portion at the end of class when I'm like in child's pose or like one hand to heart, one hand to belly. I just like thank my body for like being so strong and healthy and capable of like carrying me through my workout. And I don't think you have to have like worked out to thank your body for everything it can do for you. But even if it's just like, I don't know, before you go to bed at night, like just recognizing like what your body was able to do for you that day, or even like, I think before you go to bed at night in general, it's really a good time when your brain is clear and your like thoughts are all getting sorted before you like drift off to sleep, to just like be thankful for some of those things that happened that day.
Yeah. I also, the last thing I want to touch on is, I think setting a goal, like a gratitude goal, something like whether it be waking up and adding it to your morning routine, writing down 3 things that you're grateful for, or whether it be telling one person each day that you're grateful for them. Could be a different person every day, could be the same person every day. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. But setting some kind of gratitude goal or some kind of reminder, like on your mirror or like a little quote somewhere that every time you see it, it reminds you. Like, think of some things that you're grateful for. Think of 3 things right now. Every time you see that like quote or whatever. Some kind of goal. I don't know.
Well, and that makes me think too, like as we wrap up, that gratitude is as much for you as it is for those around you. I think gratitude, when we are grateful for those around us and what we have, it blesses us by like taking our focus and our like all-consuming attention off of ourselves and like it puts us in the bigger picture, which makes us feel more connected to the world around us. But it's also contagious, and it like blesses people when your thank you at Starbucks is like really intentional, you know? Or you're allowed, like, I feel like when you exude gratitude, the interactions you have with people are just like a tinge different. They're like a little bit more grounded, more present, more intentional, and allows you to like be fully present in your body. That's contagious because other people will see that and be like, wait, I want whatever McKenna has, you know, like I want to feel that like grounded and content. I think that's the other byproduct of gratitude is contentment. Just like being super content with the things we have. So I hope, especially on Giving Tuesday, after you have got every deal that you could possibly need, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday.
All of your Christmas gifts, holiday gifts purchased.
Yeah. Like I would think about like what it would look like to like be generous out of a grateful heart.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're doing that with you today. So thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode.
Yes, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you follow us on all platforms that you can get your podcast on, and Instagram at Call You in 5.
Call you next week.
See ya.